serious incident in the Rockies. Emergency personnel rushed to help those caught in a rock slide. Plus, ready for rain?
Oh, I'm thinking this could be bad.
Having lived through it once, though, you do realize that people are resilient.
How it will test the city's infrastructure. And a call for competition in the air.
More there's a cartel of companies. As a consumer, you suffer.
Finding ways for passengers to pay less.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news. With Tara Nelson. Reporting tonight, Ian White.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news. A rock slide in Banff National Park has injured multiple hikers, and RCMP say there may be serious injuries and at least one fatality. It happened early this afternoon near Bow Glacier Falls, about 37 kilometers north of Lake Louise. The trail to the falls goes west from Highway 93 near Bow Lake. Multiple ambulances responded, and STAR's air ambulance transported patients to Calgary. Images from the scene show ambulances lined up, ready to assist and transport the injured. Firefighters from Lake Louise and Parks Canada personnel also responded. Jordan Canagan was just at the scene, and he joins us live near Lake Louise. So, Jordan, what's the latest on this?
Well, Ian, we're finally back in cell reception, which is about 20 minutes away from the staging area where there is a significant amount of responders. Staff, and what we saw while we were there were 8 or 9 ambulances all lined up waiting for people who are involved in this incident, and they were kind of rotating through. We could see ambulances coming and going from at least 3 different areas. We also could see several helicopters beyond STARS, which was called out as well. They were coming and going as well. Now, the staging area where this is all happening is on the other side of the lake from where Bow Falls Glacier is. That is where the incident itself happened. So it is a little bit of a hike to get into there. They are keeping the public away for understandable reasons at this point, but there are a significant amount of emergency responders that have set up there, and we are expecting some type of update in a short amount of time. Yeah.
Obviously a very serious incident. Thank you, Jordan. And Jacqueline Wilson joins us from the Foothills Hospital in Calgary, where some of the injured are being taken. And Jackie, what's the latest from there?
And yes, as Jordan mentioned, STARS Air Ambulance was called to that scene this afternoon. So STARS helicopter from Calgary as well as Edmonton were sent to this scene. And actually within the last 2 hours, we have seen 2 helicopters land. Both have taken off here at the Foothills Medical Center. Now, it's not clear how many people are injured in this rock slide, but RCMP do say that initial report indicates there were multiple hikers and there may be serious injuries and or fatalities. Now, that video that we have received shows, as Jordan mentioned, those emergency crews heading to the scene and that long lineup, like he says, of ambulances parked near the trail at Bow Lake. So Parks Canada is asking all visitors avoid the Bow Glacier Falls area right now. There may be closures on the Icefield Parkway to give responders first room to work right now. And of course, we have a team, as you see, working on this breaking news story. So, Ian, we will continue to bring the latest as it becomes available.
Yes, thanks very much, Jackie. Heavy rain is expected tomorrow and Saturday on the same weekend that in 2013 saw massive flooding and damage in our city. City officials say they're confident in their ability to manage the river flow, but are warning anyone by the rivers to be cautious. Stephanie Thomas has more on the preparations in place to handle significant rainfall.
For some homeowners who live along the Elbow River, it's a sense of deja vu, but this time they are feeling prepared.
Having lived through it once, though, you do realize that people are resilient, communities are resilient. Hope it doesn't happen again.
The rivers are low. I'm told the dam is low, and a lot has been done since 2013.
Other Calgarians are skeptical that the city is ready for the rain.
But then with all the changes they've made, with all the big rocks they've piled around the river, how many millions of dollars have they spent? in case this happens again.
I'm not sure if it's all going to work. I mean, we bike downtown and there's still some work being done as we speak. So is it finished yet?
12 years ago, June 20th and 21st saw torrential rain, high river flows, and flooding unlike the region had seen in a century. One person died. City officials say the conditions ahead of this weekend are different this time.
So the soil moisture, the groundwater levels, and even the alpine snowpack are significantly lower.
Since then, the city has upgraded the Glenmore Reservoir to double its flood handling storage. It has been lowered to manage the expected rainfall. The city says the damage risk has been reduced by 71%. The province has also recently completed the $850 million Springbank Dry Reservoir, known as SR1.
These are really helping to make sure that residents and municipalities feel confident that we have the ability to manage water.
We tend to have hours to a day to a half day, and that does mean that we have to be a lot more ready and a lot more able to respond.
The fire department wants people to stay off the water, especially storm ponds.
There could be a rapid level of water change, so it can happen very, very suddenly and very quickly. So just anywhere you see the signs that say storm pond, just make sure you stay clear of that area.
Stephanie Thomas, CTV News, Calgary.
And the province will be monitoring Alberta's river flow around the clock starting tomorrow. Danielle joins us on location tonight. So when will the rain begin?
Well, for Calgary specifically, the rain will start to kick in on tomorrow morning, Friday morning. It will intensify later in the day, is what you'll notice. And this is long-term widespread rainfall for all of southern Alberta. This is a slow-moving system. And with this, that means that it could really impact us, giving us a lot of rain because it is moving so slow. So let me quickly talk about where we have the statement in place. In all of southern Alberta, in the gray here, that's the weather statement. In the green, that's the rainfall warning that's in place for Kananaskis and up and through Rocky Mountain House area. Just to give you an indication of the rain that is possible with this, well, from Crow's Nest Pass over to Lethbridge, 100 millimeters of rain. This time span for this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Up to 80 millimeters of rain in Calgary, 60 around the Medicine Hat area. But there we're looking at strong wind gusts, and we'll talk more about the risks that come with that as well. So Kananaskis and up to 200 millimeters of rain possible with this. So right now what we have is the calm before the storm, 19 degrees. The winds are starting to pick up. The clouds are starting to roll in, all ahead of this system. That rain will arrive tomorrow. It will also be much cooler with a high of 16. I'll have more details on the system for you in just a little bit. Ian?
Thank you, Danielle. Heavy rain made the morning commute slow for some drivers across Edmonton. Many roads had some localized flooding as the rain came down. The Alberta Motor Association is advising drivers that summer roads can be as bad as winter roads during rainstorms. A lack of visibility from the rain combined with potholes that could be deeper than they look can make for dangerous conditions. A random attack in the community of Huntington Hills has injured 3 transit drivers. Police were called to the bus loop near the Centre Street and 78th Avenue Northeast location around 10:45 this morning and took a man into custody. Investigators believe a man who appeared intoxicated was randomly punching people. 3 Calgary Transit drivers were standing in the bus loop when they were attacked. All of them have minor injuries.
We work closely with our partners at Calgary Transit to ensure the safety of all riders on any means of transit. They can call 911 by all means if you're seeing a violent incident like this. They can also call transit as well, and transit peace officers can attend and address many of these situations, and they do in most cases. Police are called to assist when it becomes a little bit more violent like this.
Police say the man could face charges of assault and obstruction. Anyone with information about the attack is asked to call police. And Calgary police have charged a man with sexual assault after meetings with women arranged on dating apps. 36-year-old Tuyo Barnabas Sado faces 2 counts of sex assault. One woman complained to police that after consensual activity in 2023 at the accused's home, she was assaulted the next morning. Another woman also said there was consensual activity at his apartment in 2024, followed by a sexual assault. Sado is due in court next month. It was a highly emotional day in court for the mother of Vanessa Ladusur, the woman randomly stabbed to death while walking to work 3 years ago in Calgary's Beltline neighborhood. Her mother delivered a powerful message to Michael Adenyi during his sentencing. Adenyi was found guilty of first-degree murder. Terry Fikowski reports.
Vanessa Ladusur was kind, spiritual, and passionate about poetry and politics. She grew up hiking with her sister and mother in the mountains, a place that now holds her ashes and a memorial plaque. On the morning of March 18, 2022, the 30-year-old was attacked and killed while walking to work at a fitness facility. Surveillance video captures her killer, Michael Adenyi, following her for 2 blocks before tackling her into an alcove, stabbing her 8 times in 11 seconds to the head and face with a large kitchen knife. The fact Jew Michael just butchered her there and left her to die on the street like an animal is incomprehensible, said Erica Ladusur as she addressed her daughter's killer during sentencing Thursday. I hope you remember her beautiful face every time you see the scars on your hand, adding, I hope you never get the chance to hurt someone else again.
Are we going to find Vanessa's DNA on your shoes? No. Your pants? No. No. You sure about that?
Yeah. Adenyi originally denied the killing to police, but later claimed he was hallucinating and thought he was fighting demon-like creatures during the attack. Notebooks found in a backpack he dumped also revealed a kill list of celebrity names, and his internet history revealed searches for how much blood can a person handle. A jury rejected the defense claim Adenyi was not criminally responsible due to a mental illness and found him guilty of first-degree murder last month. The conviction comes with an automatic life sentence and no chance of parole for 25 years. Justice Jane Sandell described the killing as heinous and Ladusur as an innocent victim.
You're not going on for a long time. Okay, this is serious. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Adenyi chose not to speak during sentencing, sitting emotionless in the prisoner's box while his father watched from the courtroom gallery, along with many of Ladusur's loved ones. Terry Fikowski, CTV News, Calgary.
Adenyi was also given a lifetime firearms ban. Police in Lethbridge say the body of a 17-year-old boy has been recovered from the Old Man River after he tried to swim across it last night and drowned. Police responded at about 7 o'clock Wednesday night when the boy did not resurface. Firefighters sent out a boat equipped with sonar to help in the search. Police say the drowning is not criminal in nature and the teen's body will undergo an autopsy at the medical examiner's office in Calgary. Victim and witness services has been called in to support the boy's family. After a lengthy delay, the province has quietly released the results of a public survey on an Alberta pension plan. There were thousands of respondents with passionate comments, and the majority have the same thing to say. They're not interested in leaving the CPP. Tim Brooke has more.
After almost 2 years of waiting on survey results, we now know how Albertans feel about an independent pension plan. They're not interested. A 2023 public survey shows 63% of respondents were opposed to an APP. Only 10% were in favor.
It's good to know there's a little bit of common sense out there.
Economists have been begging the province to reconsider the consideration since it was first brought up.
We think that taking the Albertans out of the CPP is going to provide us with benefits at least as good as what we have now with the same tax rates that we have now. She's wrong.
And the survey results show just how controversial the plan would be. 394 pages of responses include comments like, this idea is completely insane, and I will leave this broken province if you touch my pension. Many just keep it simple.
We weren't surprised at all, Tim. We know that CARP members in Alberta and seniors in general value the CPP. The province should really let this one die a natural death.
10% means it's an idea on the political fringe.
But some still speculate that fringe idea won't be politically damaging. One expert says those who don't like the policy won't remember it come voting time, and those who do will vote blue regardless.
It's kind of red meat to the activist minority of the UCP base, allowing them to be very geared up for election time for campaigning time.
And despite the lack of interest from survey respondents, the province won't be giving up on the APP quite yet. A statement from the finance ministry says public opinion may be shifting, but we will continue to engage with Albertans on this topic. It adds the province won't replace the CPP unless Albertans approve it in a referendum. It's still unclear what Alberta would be entitled to take from the CPP, but the province and federal government have very different numbers.
Tim joins us live with more details. So, Tim, how much has the province spent on the Alberta pension plan idea?
Well, Ian, so far it's actually been hard to get clear information on that. We do know there was a $7.5 million public engagement campaign launched by the Smith government, and it was reported in 2023 that $1.8 million of research into the app has been budgeted. So that's $9.3 million right there. We asked the province how much was spent on other things like this survey, but did not receive an answer.
Thank you, Tim. Many airline passengers say they're paying international fares for domestic flights. Still ahead, what the Competition Bureau is recommending to get those high fares down. And thousands of hotel rooms full and lots of money spent in restaurants and bars, the convention that will boost Calgary's tourism sector.
We're willing to sign a security and economic or commercial agreement with the United States that's in Canada's best interest, and only that.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says Canada will impose new tariffs on U.S. steel and aluminum imports. The counter tariffs will take effect on July 21st if a deal with the U.S. is not reached during a 30-day negotiation period. That period was announced when Donald Trump was in Kananaskis for the G7 summit. Thousands of people from around the world are descending on Calgary for a major convention. Some of the first people to arrive this weekend for the 2025 Rotary International Convention. More than 15,000 are attending from Saturday to Tuesday at the BMO Centre. Organizers say this is breaking a record at the convention centre.
This is a blueprint opportunity for Calgary. This hosting of the Rotary International Convention is going to be the largest convention Calgary has hosted since the opening of the expanded BMO Convention Centre.
Reynolds says they've been bidding for the Rotary Convention for more than a decade. Sky-high prices and limited choice. A new federal report says it's time to shake up Canada's airline industry. From foreign ownership rules to airport fees, the Competition Bureau is calling for big changes. Mark Villani reports.
As these flights get set to soar, so do the prices.
Just flew in from Vancouver yesterday, flying back now, and my flight was almost $1,000 to Calgary, so that is crazy.
It's why a new report from Canada's Competition Bureau is calling for major reforms to bring airfares down and open the doors to new competitors.
So I think if we have more flights like this, we could travel. I can come to Calgary more.
The Bureau says Air Canada and Westjet control up to 3/4 of domestic air traffic. And on routes with just one new competitor, airfares drop by an average of 9%. It wants to raise the foreign ownership cap from 25% to 49% for Canadian airlines in general and allow a new class of domestic-only airlines to be 100% foreign-owned.
It's actually a bit ridiculous how much of it isn't going to your flight at all.
Those extra costs come from Canada's user pay system, adding airport security and navigation fees that make up about 30 cents of every dollar on a ticket, fees the Competition Bureau wants to see reduced.
Several $100 million of federal government money goes into subsidies for via rail. It's the same thing for marine, and yet aviation is bearing the full brunt of its cost to government unfairly.
Meanwhile, air passenger right advocates say the changes could mean stronger protections for consumers.
We are also pleased with the recommendation to curtail the minister and the government's powers in approving anti-competitive agreements. That has been an issue in the past.
Porter Airlines welcomes calls to open routes at secondary airports, but warns foreign access could hurt smaller carriers. Flair Airlines is also optimistic, but says real action is needed.
We need to stop treating air travel as a luxury and start looking at it as a real force for public good and economic activity.
A force that, if unlocked, could deliver lower fares and more choice for Canadians. Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Westjet says it welcomes the Competition Bureau's report and that it stands ready to work with government to build a stronger system that is more affordable. Air Canada has not yet responded to requests for comment.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Okay, Danielle, you're at Yamavans tonight. I understand they're great for camping, but this is not necessarily a camping weekend, is it?
No, this is not a camping weekend in all of southern Alberta. This is a weekend that we have to stay indoors, take seriously. Downed trees, power outages, those things may be a possibility, localized flooding. Before I get into all of those details, I'm joined by my friend, Shannon McMillan, Calgary Health Foundation. We're a little overdressed, as we were talking about, maybe for this.
Yeah.
But we were also talking about, so this is a outfitted Yamavan. Super cool. We were talking about ideas. What could we do if we won? What would we do?
I know. Well, I was saying at this time of year, end of the school year, I'm ready to have my teenagers out of the house. So they could be in the driveway out here, but I'm also ready to work remotely. And you can go off-grid with this, so you could spend the summer by a lake.
Amazing. And this is one of the prizes that you could win.
That's right. So early bird deadline, midnight tomorrow night for our new Mountain Edition lottery. And it is 90%, over 90% sold already. So you want to make sure you get your tickets.
It's selling fast.
It is selling fast. And this is glamping for sure.
Yes.
But for those of you who are not campers, you can take $300,000 cash.
That's a good, both of those scenarios are very nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even if you head to the mountains, for example, well, that's fantastic too, because you can outfit this in a way where you can just kind of even be off the grid.
Yeah, and it's customizable through Yamavan's local company here in Calgary, which is fantastic, and it's set up for any adventure you like to do. So if you're a mountain biker, skier, get your gear, load it up here. This is amazing. You don't want to miss out on this for sure.
This is pretty cool. Okay, so from the Yamavan, this outfitted one, this gives you an idea of what's possible. I'm going to give you the forecast here, and the forecast is not as exciting as this Yamavan. Okay, so let's get into the details. Just a look at temperatures. Well, this is the calm before the storm. As you can see, nice temperatures today. We had lots of sunshine today. Winds relatively calm for today. In the dark gray, this is where we have the weather statement in place for all of southern Alberta. And then in the green there, that's the rainfall warning. So Kananaskis up through the Rocky Mountain House area. I'm going to give you an indication of totals, rain totals that are possible. And consider this is in just a 3-day period. This is basically a month's worth, if not more, of rain in just 3 days. So up to 200 millimeters is possible in some localized areas, basically the further west, so Kananaskis and south. Crow's Nest Pass, Pincher Creek over to Lethbridge, 100 millimeters of rain possible in the 3-day span. And for Calgary, 50 to 80 millimeters. Less to the east of the QE2, 60 plus millimeters, but this will likely be combined with strong wind gusts. And what we get with a risk with that is down trees and power outages, because when all the ground is saturated and then we add more rain and then you have the wind, it could push some trees over. So localized flooding in many areas. This is a lot of rain in a very short period of time. This is a look at the system now in the Pacific. Basically, it was 2 systems before, and now they have joined forces. They're connected to an upper level low. This will be a very slow mover, so it will hover over us for days. I'm just going to advance this so you can basically see what the system will do to us over the next few days, and it will pack quite a punch, as you can see. In the south end, it will carry even into much of Sunday. Okay, let me give you an idea of the forecast temperatures and everything for Calgary. 16 degrees for tomorrow. Just tomorrow alone 30 to 40 millimeters of rain. Saturday, 25 to 40 millimeters of rain and just a high of 10, and we'll likely have a little bit of carryover into Sunday with another 3 millimeters possible. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. All right, don't miss the first ever Calgary Health Foundation Home Lottery Mountain Edition Early Bird Deadline. Get your tickets and you're in to win the Mercedes Adventure Seeker, kind of like the one we're sitting in, early bird prize, or take $300,000 cash. Early bird deadline is at midnight tomorrow. Buy now at CalgaryMountainHomeLottery.com.
Thanks, Danielle. They were originally built to offer children's programs. Later, they housed seniors, and now 2 cottages run by the Salvation Army have been renovated to offer transitional housing for women. A celebration was held in Calgary for the grand reopening of Jackson Place and Willen Place. There are 20 units between the 2, and they will be rented out at a low monthly rate to women experiencing homelessness and survivors of human trafficking. Meals are included, along with free Wi-Fi, a fitness center, laundry, supports, and on-site counseling. The Sally Ann says this marks the first milestone in an $85 million partnership with the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, aimed at renewing over 3,400 housing units in Canada. His calling has been to preserve his Indigenous language. Just ahead, the Alberta elder honored with his own stamp. And more measles cases in Alberta, why experts say summer could be critical.
Tonight on CTV National News, W5 investigates. A $1 million car, or is it?
Doesn't make any sense.
New scams that are netting thieves big bucks and the fight to crack down.
We're talking millions of dollars.
Millions.
W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Now back to breaking news. RCMP say there may be serious injuries and at least one death from a rock slide in Banff National Park. Jordan Kennigan joins us live from near Lake Louise. And Jordan, we have now obtained video of the actual rock slide happening.
Ian, we have, and it was taken by somebody who was staying at the lodge on the lake, and they captured the footage that really gives you a sense of why this is such a serious incident and why it is believed that so many people were injured by it. Now, the video that you are seeing was submitted to us, and it shows the rock slide happening. There is a lot of dust and debris that is coming down that Bow Glacier Falls area. Now, that area is very popular for hikers and sightseeing. It is just on the other side of Bow Lake, which is where this video was taken from, and it is a popular area for people who enjoy going out and hiking. And what we have seen in the staging area is 8 or 9 ambulances all lined up waiting to treat people, waiting to take people to hospital if needed. There were Parks Canada personnel, RCMP, paramedics, firefighters as well. This is a large response in the staging area, which is right by the lodge where near where this incident happened. Now we are still awaiting many details. We don't know exactly how many people were injured. We don't know whether this was part of a tourist group or not. We will have more information for you when it becomes available. Ian?
That is incredible video. Thank you very much, Jordan. And we go back to Jacqueline Wilson now. She's at the Foothills Hospital. And Jackie, that's where at least some of the patients from this incident have been taken.
Yes, and so STARS Air Ambulance, they were called to the scene this afternoon. One helicopter was sent from Calgary, another was sent from Edmonton, and since we have been standing here at 4 o'clock, we've seen 2 STARS helicopters land at the helipad just over my shoulder, and they have both since left to go and get more injured people. But we don't know, as Jordan was saying, how many people have been injured in this rock slide, but RCMP do say the initial report indicates there were multiple hikers, and there may be serious injuries and or fatalities. Now, that video we received shows emergency crews heading to that scene. There is a long lineup, as Jordan said, of ambulances parked near that trailhead at Bow Lake. And Parks Canada actually is saying that all visitors need to avoid the Bow Glacier Falls area right now. If you are heading outside the city, please take note of that. There might be closures on the Icefield Parkway, of course, to give those first responders room to work. And we do have a team working on this breaking news. So, of course, Ian will continue to bring the latest.
Thank you so much for the update. Alberta is 4 measles cases away from a total of 1,000. That's only since March. 8 of today's 12 new cases are in the North Health Zone. 4 are in the South. Calgary and Edmonton have 0 new cases. Health experts fear that could change with the summer travel season.
You're going to have families getting together with people from all across the prairies who are part of their families to enjoy summer. And so that's for a disease as easily as transmissible as measles, that's a signal that things are as bad as they are now, they're likely to get worse.
Alberta's routine immunization schedule recommends children get a first dose at 12 months and a second dose at 18 months. An elder and knowledge keeper from Sutina Nation has received a high honor. A postage stamp has been unveiled featuring Bruce Starlight, also known as Spotted Eagle in the Sutina language. He's being recognized for efforts to save his language and culture from extinction over the last 5 decades. Starlight studies linguistics at the University of Calgary, and frustrated by a lack of support for the teaching of the language, he began to document its alphabet, words, and phrases.
It's a real honor to be asked to take part in something that I was told yesterday. You know, not everybody gets an honor to be put on a postage stamp.
Starlight Stamp is one of 3 unveiled this month featuring Indigenous leaders. The stamp is available on Canada Post's website and select postal outlets starting tomorrow. He was once a fashion photographer in New York and Milan. Now his work is of a more personal nature. Next, how mental health challenges inspired his latest exhibit. Falling Through the Cracks is a photo exhibit at the Alberta Society of Artists, and it features the work of a former fashion photographer. It features the pictures taken by Medicine Hat artist Wes Bell. The collection stems from an incident in 2019 where complications with his gallbladder were initially missed by doctors. A physician apologized and told him his case fell through the cracks. When he was recovering from surgery, he was out for a walk and saw a crack that reminded him of the new scar on his abdomen.
And it became interesting because when I look back at my career in fashion, it was all about, I was known for detail and driving people crazy on detail. And here I am out photographing cracks again, looking for detail.
Bell spent more than 2 decades photographing models in Milan and New York. He now focuses on natural landscapes. The exhibit ends on June 26th. Okay, Glenn, in trending today, a Taylor Swift sighting.
Hey, your name's Jayla? Yeah. Such a beautiful name. I'm Taylor. Nice to meet you.
The singer-songwriter surprised the kids at the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital in Florida last week. She and her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, happened to be in town for a Stanley Cup final game. You can see how even her presence is enough to bring big smiles to kids. The hospital posted the photos on its Facebook page saying, "You made this a day we'll never shake off."
Stars can make such a big difference in little kids' lives, you know, those things, right?
It's amazing. Just her being there brought so much joy to people. I know there's a lot of Taylor Swift haters out there, but she brings a lot of happiness all around the world.
That was
nice.
Let's
face it. Well, Oscar-winning actor Russell Crowe loves Canada, and he's letting us know it this week. Crowe posted these photos on Instagram and X this week asking, "Where am I now?" Well, he's in Charlottetown, and he followed it up with another post saying, "Visited my 7th province today. 3 more and a territory or 2 to go. One day, first visited Canada in 1992. It's an amazing country. You should come and have a look for yourself." And finally, Crowe revealed why he's in PEI. He's there to see a play starring and co-written by his buddy, Alan Doyle.
Way to go, Russell, right?
Very cool.
Hello, Canada. Yeah,
I think he's referring to when he came to Alberta as well. He starred in Mystery Alaska, which was shot in Canmore. Yeah, many, many years ago. Well, there's nothing like a good buddy to come to your side in times of trouble. This little guy fell off his scooter and was immediately comforted by this cat. This adorable post has got nearly 11,000 likes on Instagram, and there the little guy is petting his lovely new friend.
That's a big cat. The kid probably can't get up that cat.
That's an enormous cat. Yes. Very adorable.
Good comforting, right?
Well, Ottawa says it will not pause a digital services tax. Still ahead, how this decision may affect Canada-U.S. trade negotiations.
All right, well, right now it's the calm before the storm. Some clouds are starting to roll in. The winds are starting to pick up a little bit here. A few signs of things to come. We have a lot of rain in the forecast for all of southern Alberta, and some localized areas could see over 100 millimeters of rain with this system over 3 days. All right, let's talk about current temperatures really quickly. And when I say calm before the storm, we had a fantastic day out there today. We're sitting at 19 right now in Calgary, 27 still still in Lethbridge, 26 in Medicine Hat. All right, your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix right or it's free. For the evening, the rest of the evening, it's quiet, just a little windy at times, up to 40 kilometers per hour. Should be quiet overnight as well, but a little windy at times, up to 40 as well. But tomorrow morning, the rain starts to kick in. It should intensify by the afternoon. We're just looking at a high of 16 for tomorrow. Now, these are rainfall totals looking at a 3-day time span, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Up to 80 millimeters is possible in Calgary, 100 millimeters south of Calgary, and some localized areas off to the west could get up to 200 millimeters of rain. To the east of the QE2, the big thing is the rain, the localized flooding, and then the strong wind gusts, which could even topple trees. Okay, that's the system out in the Pacific right now. We had two systems join forces, and this is why it's going to increase that intensity. For tomorrow, rainy in Kelowna, rainy in Fernie and Golden, all of southern BC. Edmonton, down through Rocky Mountain House, Red Deer, you can see temperatures much cooler, just in the teens for many communities. Isolated thunderstorms could be part of this as well and embedded in this system. Lethbridge looking at a high of 13, Medicine Hat 16, and looking at that 10-day trend, it's cold for the next few days. We'll be back into the 20s by Tuesday of next week. All right, don't miss the first ever Calgary Health Foundation Home Lottery Mountain Edition Early Bird Deadline. Get your tickets and you're in to win the Mercedes Adventure Seeker Early Bird Prize or take $300,000 cash. Early Bird Deadline is midnight tomorrow. Buy now at CalgaryMountainHomeLottery.com.
Thank you, Danielle. Now back to our breaking news. RCMP say there may be serious injuries and at least one death from a rock slide in Banff National Park affecting a number of hikers. This is video obtained by CTV News of the actual rock slide happening near Bow Glacier Falls early this afternoon. It was taken by a visitor at a nearby lodge. You can see a large cloud of dust rising from the site of the slide just to the right of the waterfall. The area is about a 5-kilometer hike from the nearby lodge, making direct access more challenging. The glacier above is part of the headwaters for the Bow River. Bow Glacier Falls is about 37 kilometers north of Lake Louise. Multiple ambulances responded, and STAR's air ambulance transported patients to Calgary. Firefighters from Lake Louise and Parks Canada personnel also responded. There's no word yet from authorities on the number of people hurt or killed. We have a CTV News crew in the area, and we'll bring you more info as we get it. A University of Calgary expert in the field of rapid geologic change tells CTV News while rock slides are common in places like the Rockies, it's rare for people to be swept up in one, adding he doesn't believe there would have been any warning signs to suggest this slide was about to happen.
You know, any precursory motion or warning signs would have been very small indeed, and unless unless there was a monitoring station or somebody looking very specifically at that location beforehand with high resolution imagery or something, I doubt there would have been, I doubt there would have been anything to forecast such an event.
Stay tuned to ctvnews.ca/Calgary for updates, and we'll have the latest on CTV News tonight at 11:30. The federal government continues to defy the U.S. by sticking with a planned tax on global tech giants for now. BNN Bloomberg's Andrew Bell brings us the latest in business.
Hello there. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne insists that Ottawa is going ahead with a digital sales tax aimed at global internet giants despite U.S. objections. However, the minister also said the future of the levy, quote, is something we're considering as part of broader discussions. There is speculation that Canada will use that proposed tax as a bargaining chip in trade talks with Washington. It would hit companies such as Amazon, Google parent Alphabet, and Meta with a 3% levy on revenue. Meanwhile, still on trade, the Prime Minister, Mr. Carney, said Canada will soon adopt tariffs to tackle global overcapacity and unfair trade in steel and aluminum, and will also adjust existing counter-tariffs on U.S. metal products on July 21st, following the U.S. imposition of duties on metal imports from Canada. The Canadian dollar changed hands at 73 US cents, down a fraction. West Texas Intermediate oil was at $73.88, up 38 cents. Our latest fix on Western Canadian Select oil, $61.48 a barrel, up 23 cents. And the TSX Composite closed at 26,506.0, down just under 54 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Andrew Bell of BNN Bloomberg.
And we're back in a moment. Please stay with us. Sometimes it's not a bad thing to get out of your comfort zone. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn, members of Canada's ski cross team did that this week.
Ian, they're all used to hitting jumps on their runs, but the jumps looked a little different this week. Nothing like a good challenge. Canada's national ski cross team is used to reaching high speeds and catching some air when they're heading down the ski hill. This summer, they've been trying something new to help sharpen their skills. They've swapped their skis for a diving board. It's all part of cross-training.
The biggest thing is that it takes them out of their comfort zone. It's safe, and from a sport perspective, it teaches them air awareness. So when they're going off different jumps and different features, this gives them more tools in their toolbox.
28-year-old Jared Schmidt says trying a new sport is a good thing, and he thinks it'll benefit him when he gets back to training for ski cross.
Like if there's something that you're working on for diving, it could be like you could take those skills that you're using to try and perfect it and then translate it into ski cross or our sport. So but air awareness too, like we're in the air a lot, we get a lot of air time, so just being comfortable and knowing where all your parts are and you're not flailing around too much and smacking the water hard, because then you'll probably be smacking the snow pretty hard too.
Jared's sister Hannah is also on the Canadian ski cross team. Being in the water isn't her favorite thing to do, but she feels getting out of her comfort zone will help her on the hill.
I'm good, I would say, on my skis and in the air with my skis on, but diving into a pool head first is definitely not my strong suit. I did a little bit of a belly flop today. But I think it's good for me to get out of my comfort zone and, yeah, try different things throughout the summer.
Diving isn't the only sport the ski cross team will do this summer. Next up, boxing.
So in July and August, leading into the Olympics, they're actually going to be doing boxing as well. So within boxing, you get that tight quarters, that competitive nature, feeling comfortable being uncomfortable again. So yeah, it's safe, it's different, it's fun, it gets them out of the gym, and yeah, it's great cross training.
I can tell you they all have fun.
Yeah, great advice to get out of your comfort zone as well for anybody. Okay, Danielle, it's about to begin sometime tomorrow morning.
Whew. Speaking of out of the comfort zone, right, Ian? Yeah, a whole lot of rain, a whole whack of rain. Calgary specifically, let's talk about it, 30 to 40 millimeters of rain just tomorrow, and check out those daytime highs. It's going to be cold, windy, rainy, embedded thunderstorms possible, 25 to 40 millimeters on Saturday, and then it'll start to move on out by the time we get it. Okay, this says Libby Goodliff here for Weather Window. But this is a picture from Ron Jeffrey from yesterday. But anyway, your weather window is brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. Either way, how nice is that picture?
A while before we see something like that. Thanks very much. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.